Hello guys and welcome back. So we have finished the leg, the arm, the torso. So let's move on to finish the rest of the body. They include the clavicle and the neck. So let me start with the clavicle controller. I'm going to create a circle, duplicate it and rotate it 90 degrees this way and one more time. And also rotate it this way. Grab all three of those things, Alt Shift D to delete the history, and then also go modify freeze transformation to freeze their transformation. I also need a line here in the back, so I'm gonna use the create curve tool. Not sure if that's the one. So whoops. I think my computer is getting a little slow here. Anyway, so create curve and the two settings right here. Use one linear, okay, and then holding down X to start from there to the end. Alright, so that's one curve. Now let me go display and show the shapes so I can open them. Let me grab all three shapes of the circle and then control select the translation node of my last line, and then I'm gonna do a command called parent dash add dash shape. Okay, what that does is it's gonna copy the shape from the other three to the last one I'm selecting here now. So this guy has everything I need, and I don't need the others, so let me delete the other three, leaving me only one controller. I can go display and turn off shapes to go back, and now I have a single object that does have all the shape I needed. So this is gonna be called AC left clavicle, and then I need to group it and call this guy AC left clavicle GRP. Grab the group and then the clavicle joint. Let's match it there, and then I need to go grab my controller and then just manipulate the shape, making it maybe a little bit bigger, and that should be it. I need another one for the other side, so let me Control D to duplicate it, and then Control G to group it, and then put in -1 on the scale X of the group, and then on parent my duplicated controller, and then delete that group. Now you see it's mirrored to the other side, so I can rename it to AC right. Okay. Oh, it doesn't have to be parented underneath the other one. So I have two controllers. They can go up and down, and rotate to the offset directions. So that's cool. Then let me create the driver joint. So the driver joint will be duplicated from the original clavicle joint, and I don't need anything underneath the shoulder. So that's basically what I duplicated. And let me make the radius bigger. Okay. This one, let me group it and call it JT left clavicle, JT left DRV clavicle, and unparent it. And the other one on the other side is the same process. So delete elbow and that parent constraint underneath it, and then group it again, unparent. And this one is JT right DRV clavicle, and then also rename the joints underneath it. So I can do a search and replace name. Just search for left and replace with left DRV, and do the same thing for the right side. Search for right and right DRV. I don't need that #1 out there. Okay, so that's the driver joints. I need to maybe make this part also bigger. Alright, so now after the driver joint, I need to create the controls. There's going to be a IK driving it, so I'm going to go create IKs using rigging, skeleton, create IK handle. I'm going to use single chain solver, go from the beginning to the end. Same thing here, go from the beginning to the end, just one joint chain. So this one is IK handle left clavicle, and the other one is I can handle right clavicle, and then just parent the left one to the left controller P, and the right one to the right controller and P. And then with all the things selected, let me group them together and call it clavicle rig GRP. And then this goes back to the Sophia rig group. Alright, so after that I need them to actually do something, because right now they're only doing the driver joints. So they should be able to control the arm. The arm is now underneath actually the chest, so let me unparent my arm rig group and my so I need to unparent my arm group and my hand group back to Sophia rig. And then here what I'm gonna do here is grab the driver joint of the clavicle and the bending joint of the clavicle, do one parent constraint, and then the driver joint of the shoulder from the clavicle joint chain. It will do two things. One is on the joint driver joint group of the arm parent constraint. Another parent constraint will be from the same joint, right? And it's going to be applied on the FK controllers group of the arm, so parent constraint. Okay, let me do the same thing on the other side. First, the clavicle driver to clavicle bend parent constraint, and then the joint here at the end. It will do a parent constraint on the driver joint group of the arm, and then one more from the same joint to the FK shoulder. Okay. Now my clavicle should be able to control the arm. In the IK mode, it's only going to do this. In FK mode, it will be able to rotate everything. The same thing should be on the other side. Now to make the clavicle follow the chest, just grab the chest controller and then the clavicle group I just created, and then do a parent constraint too. So now that will make it follow. Okay, so that's the clavicle part. Let's move on to the neck. For the neck, we're gonna do the same thing we did on the spine. So first duplicate the joint chain and then group it and then unparent it. This is gonna be my JT DRV neck GRP. Okay, let me open the hierarchy, and here I'm gonna delete the duplicated jaw and then head. I don't need that. Oh, actually I need the last one over there. Just to be sure, I was deleting this guy, but not the original bending joint. Don't want to do that. So let me maybe make them bigger. I don't need that, and I don't need the jaw. Okay, so that's the driver joint I duplicated. Oops. Alright, and then I need to apply IK on it. It's going to be the IK spline handle. Here use the default settings. Go from the beginning to the end. Okay. Oh, let me rename my joint chain too. So modify, search, and replace name. I'm going to search for JT and replace it with JT underscore DRV. And then apply. Alright. And that's going to be 01 instead of 06. And for the new IK handle created, it's going to be renamed IK handle neck. And the other one will be curve neck. If you want to be more specific, you can call it neck spline. This is it's IK spline. Alright. After that, I need to create the clusters. So the top two vertices of the curve will have a cluster here, and the other one will be at the bottom. So cluster handle neck top, and then cluster handle neck bottom. Okay, so those are the two clusters we needed, and then we need to create controllers. Let me go create a circle here, and this one is going to be called AC neck 01, and then group it and call this one AC neck 01 GRP. And then for this guy, I'm gonna match it to the first joint of my neck. So modify, match transformation, and match all transform. And then I can grab the vertices here on the controller and make it bigger and maybe rotate them this way. And let me see, I can maybe grab those two, use soft selection, and then maybe drag those two up. Okay, and then I can maybe make it, don't know why I have all those snapping there, turn them off. Okay, so that's my first neck controller, Control D to duplicate it. The next one will be snapped to the last joint here, and it's going to be called neck 03. And let me also rename this guy. And for the shape, I'm gonna maybe reverse its direction, its bending direction, so this time it's gonna be more like this kind of result. And maybe I can drag that one downward. Maybe drag that back. The purpose here is, the goal here for the shaping of this controller is making it easier for the animator to select. So you may choose to make it longer if you think that's going to be easier for the animator, right? So, alright, so that's one more. And then Control D, let me duplicate one more time, and this one is going to be in the middle. And maybe I can make that one go down. No, also go down a little bit, and the middle can actually go up. Right. So that's AC neck 02. And the hierarchy will be 03 parentate underneath 02 and 02 parentate underneath 01. So it's a simple 3 controller system, just like the ones we did from the root to the chest or from the shoulder to the wrist. Okay, now after that we can then parent the bottom cluster to the neck and the top cluster to the bottom cluster to the neck 01 and then the top one to the neck 03. Now we can use the controller to control the bending of the driver joint. Now to apply the control from driver joint or our controller system to the bending joint, what we need to do is, for the beginning, the controller here at the bottom will have a parent constraint on the bending joint. It's going to be the same for the top, so the controller and then the bending joint, parent constraint. For the ones in the middle, we're going to use driver joints, so this guy and then the joint, constraint, parents, controller, driver joint, and then bending joint, parent constraint, driver joint, bending joint, parent constraint. It's going to give me the result I desire. Okay, now I have some weighting issue here. So what I can do here is grab those vertices and go skin and hammer skin weight just to temporarily make them look a little better. Alright, so that's the controller, and then the next thing I want to do is twisting. So I'm gonna go to the node editor and then, whoops, it's too big. Alright. Okay, so let me clear the graph and then middle mouse drag my controller in and also my IK in. That's the controller's rotation. I believe it's X will control the twist, so that way we will be able to twist the entire neck. Okay, and then for the stretching, I need to go duplicate the curve here and call this one original, and let me clear the graph and then grab all the original curve and the new curve I duplicated. I don't need their translation, but here also grab the ones that does have ORIG, uppercase O, at the very end. Also kick those two out because they're original shape, they're not the current up-to-date shape. So now I have two shapes. One is called the neck spline shape. That's the shape of our IK spline. The other one is a duplication of it, called original shape. Okay, so let's measure their lengths. It's gonna be a curve info node. Okay, and this curve info will be called curve info neck current length, and then the other one will be renamed to original length. Okay, let me press 4 to open those two, and then I'm gonna open the workspace of our current curve to that input curve. The other one's workspace 0 to input curve of the original length. So this one tells me how long it is of my IK spline. The other one, IK curve, the other one tells me how long it was, or how long it is when nothing is moved. So I need to know the difference. I need to use multiply divide to do that. And the name of that multiply divide can be renamed to neck stretch amount, or something like that. Alright, and let me open it, and we're gonna connect the arc length to the inputs. So the top one goes to input 1x, the second one, the original length, goes to input 2x. The operation here will be divide, and the result goes to the scale of the driver joint, which are those ones. So let me bring those in. Alright, the output goes to the scale. Okay, that should guarantee my stretching and twisting is working. So that's basically everything we need. And then let me go select the IK and the two curves. Let me group them together and call it IK neck GRP, and then group them together, the joint AC and IK group. That's gonna be my neck rig GRP, and then this one goes to the Sophia rig. Now for the neck to follow the body, we just use the chest and then control select the neck rig group, do a constraint parent. Now one of the trick here is that when you now drag the controller move forward, it's going to do that as double transformation, and the reason for that is because the curve's translation and deformation are both moving it forward or backward the same amount, so you're getting that double transformation result. To fix that, just go grab that curve again that's going to be underneath the IK, right, this one, and uncheck its inherent transform, and that should fix the problem. Another thing you wanted to do, of course, is use the root controller to do a parent constraint on the group of the driver joint, so that it will rotate with it. Okay, so that's the neck, and then let's move on to the jaw. For the jaw joint, it's a very simple thing. It's AC jaw and group it AC jaw GRP and match it to the jaw joint. And then go to vertices and then move it down and rotate it 90 degrees. Why do I keep having that on? Anyway, so maybe a little bit bigger, and then change that. Change its arc to make it look like the contour of the mouse, and that should be it. And then what it does is it's having a ORM constraint on the joint. Okay, and for this controller, I can put it underneath a head rig group if I wanted to, or I can just parent it underneath the neck if that's easier. Either way, it should work. Okay, so that is everything we did in class, I think. So the assignment is just finish the body rig, make everything work, and the next class we will have a troubleshooting, so I will go check one by one and see if you have any wrong parts or if you have any questions, and then we'll move on to facial expression. Alright, that's gonna be it for today.